We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep.
Maybe the best team and the champion. I would argue the year that the Patriots went undefeated and lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. The Patriots were the best team in the National Football League, but they were not the champions. You could point out plenty of years in college basketball where you don't feel the best team won, but they were the champions. And that's the difference. That's why we have playoffs. In the East, the 1 seed is out. The 2 seed is on the ropes. We're probably going to have 4 versus 3 in the conference championship. In the West, the 1 seed's in a battle. We're going to have a 6 or a 7 seed in. That's what the playoffs are, and that's why you love it. Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Wednesday to you. 'Tis your opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
Do a lot. There's a reason we have playoffs, right? I hear all the time, well, I mean, the best team didn't win. I want to see the best teams. I don't know. Isn't that kind of what we're doing? Isn't that what we're paring down? We're seeing who's deepest, who's healthiest, who's the best, who can handle the crunch time, who can make wide open shots when it's on the line. Isn't that what the playoffs are?
The playoffs are a test of will, a test of talent, a little bit of luck involved, closing games, learning how to win. It's a long gauntlet, and when you get through it, you deserve to raise that trophy.
In the East, the number 1 seed is out. They started out 15-0. They ran away with it in some respects. Celtics were there, but you thought the whole time, well, yeah, but the Celtics will get them in the playoffs. Neither the Celtics nor them are probably going to get to the next round. Pacers get beat 4-1. Were they beat up a little bit? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Was it Darius Garland, I think, said after the game, nobody knows what our bodies go through? Everybody's bodies go through it. Show me somebody at this point in the NBA who's 100% healthy. How about give some credit to Indiana? 114-105 was the final last night. Indiana was the underdog in every game in this series, and they won 4 of the 5. They beat the number 1 seed 3 times on the number 1 seed's home floor. Donovan Mitchell played last night. Donovan Mitchell played well last night. You're going to hear a little bit of what Donovan Mitchell had to say. Donovan Mitchell is a star, a good star. I don't know that I would say superstar. I think there's only a few of those, but he's a star. I think he's a guy you build around. 35 points last night coming off that injury. Evan Mobley had 24. Are they good enough to win a championship? Obviously not. They didn't just get unlucked in this round. They got paddled. Indiana's better right now. Indiana's better. Is this a disappointing year for Cleveland? When it's all said and done, I don't know what the expectations were. I have no idea where they were picked preseason. It doesn't much matter. They were 64-18. They were the 1 seed in the East. They ran away. In fact, they were 14 games better than Indiana. Disappointing when it's all said and done?
It's a gigantic disappointment when you're a 1 seed and you go down in the second round. You have eyes on conference finals, which would mean that you're a step away from the NBA finals. I think any 1 seed that goes down before that, you have to feel incredibly disappointed and like you came up short in the season.
Is this series more about Cleveland or more about Indiana? Because I always say when the series end, we always talk about the team who gets beat. We're gonna have time to talk about the team who wins because they're gonna continue to go, right? Like we did with Minnesota and the Lakers. We're gonna have time to talk about it, and I'm gonna get into Indiana, but it feels like this is more about Cleveland, although I'm not certain it is.
I think Indiana was definitely overlooked. There just wasn't a buy-in to this team being real. They're back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. Like, I don't know what you want. I've been saying it for the last few weeks. Like, give me a good team. Like, you get caught so many times looking at we think you're winning a championship right now, or throw everything away and tank for your next franchise quarterback, or to try to get the number 1 overall pick.
Lottery.
That doesn't work out for either. So, like, being good gets lost, and the Pacers are just good.
Pacers are good. Pacers have 2 guys at that. Is it fair to say they have 2 on the second shelf level? Right?
Yes.
If you're going to tell me it's Jokic and Luka and Edwards and LeBron, and whoever on the top shelf, there's a lot of people on that next shelf, right? Would you say Halliburton and Siakam are both there?
I would.
I would too.
They do a great job of development with what they've done as a franchise. They have a great coach in Rick Carlisle.
Yep.
And then Neesmith and Nebhard.
Yeah, and Turner.
Really good guys, a lot of versatility. Miles Turner's been there for a while. They've invested in him. And yeah, the thing with the Cavs and Celtics, you're looking at the athleticism this season, the wing play, and who they're going up against. What did the Pacers really leaned into that? They let this team develop. Nemhard, Neesmith from last year. They didn't go crazy and say, hey, we have to make another trade for a star player because we're this close, so let's trade a bunch of assets to get one guy in here. They didn't do that. They brought the group back, looked even better in this one, beating Cleveland to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And the same thing, for the Knicks is wing athleticism to match top teams in the Eastern Conference, and that's why we're looking at a Knicks and Pacers Eastern Conference Finals.
Cleveland was up 44-25. The team who got beat, the 1 seed, the team at home, the team with their backs against the wall, the team who had everything to play for in this game, came out of the gates and they were up 44-25 with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Tyrese Halliburton went on a run. He had 5 of his 6 3-pointers in that period. Pacers closed to within 4 points at halftime. I thought that was the key. I thought that back end of the second quarter was the key, where instead of burying them, they completely let them back in. Kind of like, and we're going to get into the Nuggets as well. And Charles Barkley called it at halftime. But we're going to get into that as well. But I thought that was key. Instead of burying them, they let them back in. And so when they were up by 19 points and they go to the locker room only up by 4, I felt this thing was swinging the other way.
It's multiple times in this series for the Cavs, just letdowns. Now, it was a little earlier, so it wasn't like the final minute collapse that we've seen. But you're hobbled with Donovan Mitchell, who's giving you everything you can.
Yep.
You're at home, and just how quickly it got away and the energy, they could not get it back once the Pacers got going.
All right. Is it fair to criticize the Cavaliers? They were injured. They played, I think, the first game without Mobley and Hunter and Garland, right? Were they all out the first game?
It was one of the first 2.
Okay. Donovan Mitchell got hurt. He didn't play the second half of game 4. Well, hell, they were down by 30. Didn't matter. He came out last night and played his ass off. Nobody's questioning Donovan Mitchell, right? Donovan Mitchell last night gave you 35 points. He played 38 minutes. He had 9 rebounds. Nobody's questioning him. Do you have his post-game sound?
Not the one you're looking for.
Okay, we got to clean it up. Donovan Mitchell, after the game, kind of went off, and he was up in his feelings, and he said, you guys are going to write a bunch of bleep, and we're going to use it as fuel. And you guys are going to write a bunch of whatever. Is it fair to criticize? Or at least look at, not necessarily Donovan Mitchell, because Donovan Mitchell was spectacular. But a 1 seed just got beat 4 out of 5, lost 3 times at home, had a 19-point lead in an elimination game, got handled. They were the favorites in all 5 games and got beat. Isn't it fair a little bit to look at it and say, I don't know, to write some bleep? When you're going to stand there, and again, please, I'm prefacing this. I really, really, really like Donovan Mitchell. I admire how he plays. He gutted it out. He was on empty last night. But if you're going to stand there and take the flowers when you win and you get Defensive Player of the Year and you're Coach of the Year and you're the number 1 seed and everything that goes with it, and then you go out in the second round in 5 games, the way you went out, yeah, there's a little bit of bleep to be written, isn't there?
There is. I think, yeah, I got to clean up the comment. It was almost like he's telling his team that when you hear him say it, because he wasn't necessarily attacking reporters.
He kind of was antagonizing the reporters. Like, they hadn't even written anything yet, and he was already on them, right? Yeah, he already. I know what you guys are going to write, and you guys, and we're going to use it as fuel, and you guys are going to do whatever you're going to do. I don't know. What do you want to write, man? I mean, the story's the story. The story is the 1 seed got beat 4-1 in the second round by the 4 seed when they were favored all 5 games and lost 3 games at home and were up 19 in an elimination game and got beat. That's the story. Nobody's making it up. It's not fiction.
Did it to yourself?
Am I wrong? This is one of those when you're going to bask in the limelight, you gotta when it goes sour, you gotta eat that too. That's just part of it. I want to get into Indiana as well, because I think they're the story, or are they? At least they're the other part of the story, and they're going forward. You give them a chance against most likely the Knicks? I say the answer is yes. We'll look at that. Denver was up big last night too. Denver on the road really looked like they were going to come home with a lead. Nikola Jokic was terrific last night. But it was OKC down the stretch because they made shots and the Nuggets didn't. Want to get there? We'll go 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. A ton of stuff going on today. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Got the keyword for the backyard blow-up. We're going to give that to you at 8:25 today. Todd Brown, Lobo baseball coach, is going to be with us coming up at 9. Lobos are in a position to play for a conference championship this weekend, and you can go out and watch them. We're going to get into that, get you updates on Lobo and Aggie golf at the NCAA regionals, both in a position to advance to the NCAA championships next week. So we'll get you all of that. And the big move by baseball, it played out exactly how I told you it was going to play out with Pete Rose. Now it's up to the voters. We'll see how that plays out. And I know you've got thoughts on that. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the X, it's _JJ Buck. Adrian's producing. You can watch the show. It looks great the way he puts it together. It's on ProView Network's YouTube channel. It's on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, and it's on Xfinity Channel 26 across the state of New Mexico. When we get back, Nuggets had a lead. Nuggets had opportunity after opportunity. Nuggets had wide open shot after wide open shot. Nuggets go home down 3-2. Hey, if you've been the victim of a break-in, home business, you know too well that it takes hours, if not days, for police to respond. If you haven't been a victim, you know someone who has. Just not enough officers to cover all the calls they get for service. But when it's you, right? When it's your business, when it's your home, you need a quicker response. How about 7 minutes or less? That is the typical response time for customers of International Protective Service. IPS, I am one of their customers. I've trusted them for years. They watch my home. IPS has officers strategically placed all around Albuquerque. Now in Santa Fe, they react quickly, often catching criminals in the act, detaining them, and the police come and get them. IPS provides standing guards. If you need eyes on your property around the clock, they'll install alarms, camera systems. They've got a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. All of this raising the level of security around your home and your business. So who's watching your home when you're not there? Look, don't wait to be a victim. It's then too late. Be proactive on this. Call IPS. Have them take care of what you've worked so hard to build. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420. They are online at ipsglobal.com. International Protective Service is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Get your golf updates as well as we go through Tallahassee Regional. Lobos were 4th place headed into the final round today. Top 5 will advance to the NCAA tournament. Auburn Regional, New Mexico State, 3rd place. Get your live scoring as we go through it. I'm trying to find that app, dude. I was on the right spot yesterday, and they got like a zillion different places to try to find this, but I'll find you the easy part for it. But be something if both Lobo and Aggie Golf can get through this, huh? Be something if they can both get through, and I'll keep you up to date. Todd Brown's going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Lobo baseball coach. We'll talk to him about his opportunity. Lobos are in the conference tournament. They are in the postseason, but they have an opportunity. 1 and 2 seeds get a bye in the first round, which is a big deal. And that's what they're playing for. They're in 2nd place right now. We'll talk to Todd coming up at 9 o'clock. All right, JJ, Nuggets last night, 112-105. They lose to Oklahoma City. They were up. They were up big in the first half. Charles Barkley said at halftime. Did you watch the halftime show at all, or did you flip over the hockey? Because I was watching a lot of the hockey was good too. The Stars beat Winnipeg last night. But he said he felt that run that OKC made right at the end of the half was going to cost the Nuggets the game, that instead of stepping on their throat, they let them back in. It was a close game at halftime, and I don't know if that's what cost him. I thought more so what cost them was Jamal Murray got hot early in the fourth quarter. They opened up, about an 8-point lead. And, JJ, I just thought they had beautiful looks. They just couldn't hit shots down the stretch. To me, this wasn't anything Oklahoma City did defensively. It was you got as much Nikola Jokic as you could get. You got 44 points and 15 rebounds out of Nikola Jokic. They just flat out couldn't hit shots. Michael Porter was 1 for 7. Christian Brown was 3 for 12 from three-point land. And when it mattered down the stretch, I'm sorry, Christian Brown was 2 of 8 from three-point land. Porter was 0 for 5. They just couldn't get it done. I'm looking at this, everything you wanted. Boom, great ball movement. There's a guy wide open on the wing, missed. Guy offensive rebound. Westbrook gets it, get another opportunity. Guy wide open in the corner, missed. You just got to make shots to win. I thought Oklahoma City made shots and Denver didn't. It was almost to me that simple last night.
It's a make or miss league, and what we've seen the last 2 fourth quarters is the Thunder team that lost the game early in this series. And everyone's like, "Oh, you don't have the experience. You got to learn." Well, they grew up quickly. They've outplayed the Nuggets in the last 2 fourth quarters overall. Shot making, other players stepping up, hitting shots. Lou Dort was fantastic in the fourth quarter, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has taken over and been that closer, that go-to guy. And this is one where you look at Jokic, and he's had some down games, 2 monster games in the series, but this is SGA and the Thunder going, it's been nice. Denver, Jokic, good job, good effort, but this is our conference right now. And you've seen that in the fourth quarter in the last 2 games.
So you think it was over? Because you had, by the way, 10.5 was the spread last night. I told you I would take the 10.5. So, I mean, not that I did. But as you were telling me, I'm like, wow, everybody's probably taking the 10.5. It's a sucker bet, isn't it? Because the games, they've been blowouts. But all that said, I still kind of feel Denver wins going home, and this thing stretches to 7. You don't think so?
Oh, it can, but I'm taking the Thunder with what they've done in the last 2 fourth quarters. I think it's the last couple buckets. I think they've outscored the Nuggets almost like 70-30 in the fourth quarter the last 2 games. Like, that's growing up. That's closing a game. Yeah. And this is the whole Nuggets are champions, been there, done that. Okay.
Yeah.
And they also clanked a bunch of shots and didn't close out 2 games in a row.
No, I know I lean on that crap all the time, that you learn how to win. It feels to me like Oklahoma City is learning or has learned how to win, right? In game 1, maybe they took their lumps and they learned from that. But to your point, if you watch that game, if you were dropped in from Pluto last night and you didn't know which team has the championship medal down the stretch, you would have absolutely thought it was Oklahoma City because they made the shots down the stretch. And I loved the way the Nuggets played for 3.5 quarters. I did. I thought they were gritty. I thought they played defense. I thought Jokic, I mean, I don't know that he was listening. Look, I never doubted Jokic. Hitters go into slumps, shooters go into slumps. Like, okay, dude struggled a little bit. Did you ever doubt Nikola Jokic was going to have another game?
No,
nobody did, right? And so he had 44 last night, shot 17 of 25, and he made 5 of his 7 3-pointers. Like, Nikola Jokic did everything he could, and Jamal Murray had his minute, right? He got hot early in the fourth quarter, but overall, 3 of 13 from three-point land, and he shot 10 for 27 from the field. With all due respect, and that's nice that he got hot, he's got to be better than that for them to win. He does. Because where else are they getting it? Aaron Gordon has been really, really good in this series. But if he's going to be your number 2 option, you're probably not going to go deep in the playoffs. He's great as number 3, maybe even a number 4 option. And you paid Michael Porter Jr. how much money? I for the life of me don't understand that one. He's shown you a few flashes. Is Michael Porter Jr. that guy?
No.
He never was, right? But yeah, look, I think Russ was giving you good minutes. He was 1 for 7 from the field. Off your bench, you got a total of 10 points. Peyton Watson gave you 3, Russ gave you 4, and Strother gave you 3. Off your bench, you shot 3 for 13. Got 14 rebounds. It's your whole bench. And I know that you're not a big fan of depth. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as far as, that's not fair to say. That you think depth isn't the key factor to going deep in the playoffs, correct? And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
I think it can be overrated.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you need to pick your spots. It's the last few minutes of the third quarter resting your guy, or the fact that, hey, Jokic played the entire fourth quarter, but Alderman, realizing that he had 2 3.5 minutes timeouts that he used in the quarter, discussed it a lot better than J.J. Redick did when he played his entire starters, that 5, the entire second half. It's about picking your moments. And OKC, yeah, they had Alex Caruso is good off the bench. He's their 6th man, and he's fantastic. And they found 11, 18 minutes. It's not nothing, but it's one you look at, all right, who's the deeper team? Boston, New York. Well, without it was Celtics. Where's that got them right now?
No, that's true. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander after the game talked about the depth and how important it was for that club. And I think it's done different ways.
Well, and it's, if you have it, yes, maximize it. And this is a team that has one player on a max deal right now. And that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah. And so when you're questioning, well, why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? Fair. It's the fact that you have a Nuggets team that's paid all these guys, and so then they're reaching for straws on the bench. And that's a challenge. That's what you sign up for when you find good players like the Nuggets did. They drafted and developed Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
They tried to invest in Michael Porter Jr. It doesn't look like it's paying off, even though he's not living up to any role player expectations at this point in time.
Yeah, no, to me, he's kind of the anchor that's kind of pulling you down a little bit. I think he's not pulling it. I got a starter who gets me 2 points and 4 rebounds in 29 minutes. I need more than that from a guy who's making that much money.
Appreciate that he came right back from the shoulder injury.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just need more.
But
if you're going to win a championship,
1-7.
Yep. No, I agree with that. How about Lou Dort? And I know he's not a bench player; he's a starter. But how about the big shots he hit in the fourth quarter? I mean, just splash, splash, splash. He was 4 of 8 from threes. He was just terrific. And guy. You say that was the Lou Dort game maybe for them. Where are you getting it from? And that's where it's from. Nuggets go home, backs to the wall, down 3-2, and they'll try to stay alive tomorrow. All right, when we come back, this hits yesterday. I'm really interested in where you are on this. We haven't had the pregame meeting on this. Major League Baseball has removed the ban on Shoeless Joe Jackson and on Pete Rose. Of course they did. I told you this, man. A lifetime ban. Well, when your life is over, your lifetime is over, right? playing out exactly how I predicted it would. Now it's up to the voters. I want your thoughts on this. Pete Rose, should he be in the Hall of Fame? I'll get you updates on the scoreboards because both the Lobos and the Aggies are on the golf course right now at the NCAA Regionals trying to qualify for the championships. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team.
Regional qualifiers, or the NCAA regionals, in men's golf are underway. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. So the top 5 in each region will advance to next week's NCAA championships. Or I don't even know if they're next week. They might be 2 weeks out. New Mexico is playing in the Tallahassee regions. Florida State is the host there. Florida State is running away with it. They're 27 under par as a team. And so they're clear. They're 15 strokes clear of second place Ole Miss, who's minus 12. Georgia's minus 10. So you got a bunch of, an ACC and 2 SEC schools. Lobos are sitting right now in 4th place, and they're on the course. They're playing holes 2 through 6 right now, and they are 3 under par. They are 5 strokes clear of 5th place Augusta and 6 strokes clear of the cut line at Louisville. So they're in good shape. Clark Sonnenberg led the way yesterday. The Lobos had 1 golfer under par, and he is the freshman from Albuquerque Academy. Sonnenberg shot a 68 yesterday. So the Lobos are in good shape. Sonnenberg's on the course right now. He's playing the 4th hole. He's 1 under on the day. But as a team, the Lobos are minus 3 and sitting in 4th place, trying to get back to the NCAA championships. New Mexico State is in Auburn, playing the Auburn Regional, where the host team is running away with it there. They're 23 under, 22 strokes clear of second place Texas A&M. The Aggies are in 3rd place. Aggies are even. 2 strokes better than 4th place UCLA, 4 strokes better than 5th place Georgia Tech, and 7 strokes ahead of the cut line in Purdue. Aiden Thomas is 4 under par for them on the tournament and sitting in 6th place. So both teams are in really good shape. I'll keep you up to date. This will go probably about an hour past when we're off the air, but I'll watch these for you. It'd be really cool if they both get in.
Be very good.
Aggies hadn't been to the NCAA championships in men's golf since 1995. I think that was Rich Beam back in the day. I might be wrong. It might be after him. Now that I think about it, it might be after him. But they've had some good golfers down there. All right. 505-246-0610. So yesterday, Major League Baseball announced that they have lifted the ban on Pete Rose, on Shoeless Joe Jackson. They're eligible for consideration for the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose passed away September of last year at the age of 83. There's been pressure from Donald Trump. There's been pressure from people, but there's been pressure on both sides on the Rose thing. Rose had a permanent ineligible. I've seen it listed different ways. I've heard it permanent ban. I've heard it as a lifetime ban. And to me, they do mean different things. Lifetime means lifetime. When you're dead, why are you banned anymore? Manfred ruled that lifetime bans, he read it the way I do. This is Rob Manfred, the commissioner. Lifetime bans do not apply posthumously. Once your lifetime is over, your ban is over. There was a petition filed by an attorney who represented Pete Rose prior to his death. Manfred said, quote, obviously a person no longer with us cannot represent a threat to the integrity of the game. Moreover, it's hard to conceive of a penalty that has more deterrent effect than one that lasts a lifetime with no reprieve. Therefore, I have concluded that permanent ineligibility ends upon the passing of the disciplined individual, and Mr. Rose will be removed from the permanently ineligible list. That was a quote. Shoeless Joe Jackson was banned for the Black Sox scandal. 15 other players have also been reinstated. JJ, I think I told you this. Well, I know I told you this. I don't know when. That all Pete Rose ever wanted, he lived his life, he was hoping to get in the Hall of Fame. And I told you he will probably get in posthumously, never get to enjoy it. He will never get to feel that. Some of you say good, he doesn't deserve it. And some of you said say it's a crime. It's now going to be up to the Historical Overview Committee to develop a ballot of 8 names for the Classic Baseball Era Committee. They'll evaluate candidates. I think there's 12 people on the committee. I think he needs 8 votes to get in. First of all, your thoughts when you heard this, and do you believe now that Pete Rose, A, should, and B, will get into the Hall of Fame?
Well, this is one where, as you've said, we could all see it coming. Once Pete Rose passed away, there would be a legit discussion about allowing him to be on whatever ballot, and in this case, the
Historical
Overview Committee ballot, to look back and put people in. I still think it's going to be a close vote. This is one that, and this was easy. This wasn't being able to sit back, well, I never tested positive, this or that. Like, no, you bet on baseball when you were playing it. You bet on baseball when you were managing it, and he got in trouble. So I have no problem with the fact that he never got in the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Will he or should he now? Possibly.
Now that it's open for a vote, I am fine either way.
If you were on that committee, would you vote for him?
I don't know, because this is one where it is really old baseball people.
Mm-hmm.
Because all I've known of Pete Rose is a dude that was a hit machine,
mm-hmm.
but the entire Pete Rose narrative was this.
Yeah.
It was never about how good he was, which obviously he was very good, but it was just Pete Rose Hall of Fame, yes or no.
Yeah. I heard it put really well yesterday. What is why am I forgetting the dude's name? The ESPN's baseball guy. He was here a couple times to speak at the Lobo baseball dinner. Not Peter Gammons. Come on, little guy. He's there all the time. Not Buster. Only what's the other guy? They got Gammons.
Tim Kirkshin?
Thank you, Tim Kirkshin. He was asked this question yesterday. He says, "This is the hardest question I've been asked in 45 years of covering baseball." Is it? But maybe it is. And I really appreciated his answer, because I think it's exactly where I stand. Because my answer before I heard him say this was, I would vote for Pete Rose to be in the Hall of Fame, and I'll tell you why. But he said if I was on that committee, I would go in believing I was going to vote yes, and would listen to the conversation, understanding that I might be able to be swayed. Okay. He said Frank Robinson, an all-time great, lit him up when he said, I believe Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. Frank Robinson, who was a teammate of Pete Rose, said that he cheated the game and that if he ever gets in, I will never do anything with the Hall of Fame again. Now, there's people just as passionate on the other side. Pete Rose is the all-time hit king in baseball. Baseball, throw ball, hit ball, catch ball. He hit ball better, more efficiently, statistically better than anybody in the history of the game. He played the game to a style that everybody unanimously thought was the right way to play. Charlie Hustle was his nickname. Great nickname. He also bet on baseball. He cheated, and he paid his penance. To me, and I've said this before, and I know Pete Rose memorabilia is in the museum. You can't tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose. Well, Jeff, he's there. His bats are there, and the ball that he hit off of Eric Chow for the hit that broke Ty Cobb's record, all those things, he's there. I get it. Pete Rose, all he ever wanted was to see his plaque in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he lived for that. You took that from him, that's fine. He earned that penance. I believe Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. I believe, like at this point, put it on his plaque, what he did, put the whole damn story on there. He was suspended for the back end of his life, could not be a part of Major League Baseball. Put it all in there. Pete Rose defines a Hall of Fame player. Now, if you want to tell me about integrity and all that as a manager, that's fine. Don't put him in as a manager. There is no argument to be had that Pete Rose wasn't a Hall of Fame player. None. There's a bunch of a-holes in there. Well, yeah, Jeff, but they didn't gamble on baseball. Probably, maybe not. I don't know. They didn't get caught. You're right. He's dead. He doesn't get to enjoy it now. You took that from him. Good, you win. But to me, and I guess I'd be like Kirkjian, and maybe you can convince me the other way. And I know Grady feels differently on this. I know many of you do. He's passed. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. I watched him play. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Switch hitter, played a bunch of different positions, still the major league hit leader. How many years later? Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. That's my opinion. Shoeless Joe Jackson, I don't know that I'm like you on that. Never saw him play. Not nearly as passionate about that. I don't know how good he was, comparative. 505, I know we're running late on this. Let's take this break. I want your thoughts, but I really want to hear what you think on Pete Rose. 505-246-0610, because this is going to be polarizing, and I get it. 505-246-0610. Should Pete get into the Hall of Fame now? If you were on that historical overview committee, would you put him on the ballot? Would you vote for him? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by True Green.
Remember the day he poured in 63 points?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. located on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security.
505-246-0610. John says, good morning, fellas. Even though Pete Rose has since passed away, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Dude had so many great stats during his baseball career. Thanks, Jeff and JJ. It's John in the Duke City. I guess, what is the Hall of Fame, man? I mean, is it about your character? Is it about... As a player, I mean, can you separate player and manager with him? He bet as a manager.
There was evidence that he bet when he was playing. A player.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right.
That's just the ESPN story I was watching last night about it.
All right. Okay, where are you? Would you? I mean, so you'd kind of, you think you vote for him or you'd listen?
At this point, we knew it was coming, and I'm fine with how it played out. He passed away, then they're going to put it up for a vote. And really, this is one where if he gets in, a lot of people are going to be like, man, what are we going to do in July now? But they just let the old dudes decide if he's in or not. I think there is a giant generation of baseball fans that are just kind of like, whatever at this point with heroes.
Okay, so you're in that generation,
yeah,
right? I'm going to try to give you both arguments. As a player, switch hitter, multi-positions, world champion, all-star, all-time hit leader. More hits than anybody in the history of the game. Played the game in an iconic way. Kind of in a large respect, I mean, it was the face of the game. I think all-time hit leader alone says Hall of Famer. The argument against it was he bet on baseball, but now he's dead.
I think this is going to set a tone for what happens with Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez,
Roger Clemens,
these sluggers of the steroid era.
Okay, I mean, should they be in?
If Pete Rose gets in, then yeah, these guys should be in.
I think those guys should be in. I mean, Bonds more home runs than anybody. I don't like Barry Bonds. I know too many firsthand stories. I don't like him, but I think he should be in. David said, Jeff, he was a player manager when he was betting on games. So he illegally bet on games while he was playing and while he was managing. Yeah, that's right. He was a player manager. You're right. And while he was managing, and he had the ability to affect the outcome of games. Anyone that reads the Dowd report can see the extent of it and why he accepted a lifetime banishment. The report covered allegations of him betting during the 85 through 87 seasons, of which he was still a player 85-86. I don't care either way. But as a player, he broke the cardinal rule that's in every dugout and clubhouse. Okay. All right. And so he served his lifetime ban. He served. He's dead. His life is over. Lifetime ban been served. Okay. Tell me who it hurts now to put him in the Hall of Fame. Who does it hurt now? You didn't want to give Pete that euphoria. You didn't want to reward him with having that moment. Cool. And I don't even know why I care so much, just because, other than I watched him play. And I know how great he was as a player. I've been to the Hall of Fame. I see all those great players in there. There's a lot. There's a Hall of players that weren't the player he was. And if it's about being a Hall of Fame player, to me, it's inarguable. But I hear you. But it played out exactly how I told you it would. 505-246-0610. Todd Brown, Lobo baseball coach, is going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. Lobos are playing for a championship. We got a sweet deal. It's Burger Week. That's coming up in a little bit. Also, I'm going to give you the keyword for our backyard blow-up. That's coming up at 8:25 as well. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Services in the Albuquerque metro area. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain.
Some of you old schoolers who remember Pete playing, I'm curious where you are. Those of you who don't recall Pete playing but have seen the highlights, but certainly you know the numbers, you know the stats. I mean, you know, none of us were around when Abe Lincoln was president, but we've all heard of him and know what he did, right? I mean, it's okay to know history and know
it's
what
not
happened.
about not knowing history. It's you don't have that
personal
same tie. Like, Wilt Chamberlain was awesome, or Bill Russell won 11 championships. But you know, it's one thing when you see it, you have a much different reaction than just understanding the history of something.
Yeah, 24 years in baseball. Major League record 4,256 hits. All-time leader in games played. All-time leader in plate appearances. Was the National League MVP in 73. 17 All-Star selections. 3 World Series championships. Okay, nobody's arguing the numbers, right? Nobody's got there is no conversation there, right? You don't have to have seen a guy play to say, wow, he's got more hits than anybody who's ever played the game. Wow, okay. He had more plate appearances than anybody who's ever played. Okay, well, that's a longevity thing, but more hits than anybody? Okay. He was MVP in 73. All right, well, just one-time MVP doesn't, but a 17-time All-Star? 3-time champion? Yeah, dude's there's no conversation there. The conversation is, can you get past, or should you get past? And get past might not even be it. Whilst considering that he bet on baseball and was banned for his life, now that his life is ended, the lifetime ban hence has ended, should be in the Hall of Fame. I ask you this. What is the damage? What is the deterrent? And I'm cool if you say, Jeff, there's no way he should be in. I'm good with that. I understand it. I'll disagree with you. I think I imagine I might be able to be swayed, but okay. But if you're on the side that says no, it's the cardinal sin. It's in every dugout, and you're not wrong. What damage would be done? Who would be hurt? Why should he not have a plaque in that room with the other great players? What damage would be done to baseball? Is that hurting the integrity of the game to posthumously put the all-time hit leader, all-time plate appearance leader, 17-time All-Star, 3-time champion in the Hall of Fame? What damage would be done? That's all. I'm glad this guy called, because I know he has a dissenting opinion on it and I want to hear. And it's been a minute. He's the real Slim Grady, I believe. What's up, Grady?
OG Hall of Famers of the OD and the AM. What's happening?
It's been a minute. Good to hear you. I thought this one might get you on the phone.
You know, I'll look at it like this, and I love the conversation so far. And you're right, this is something that, well, I don't necessarily say I'm passionate about it, but I think I have, a strong opinion about. I would take what Tim Kirchin said, but I would go in there ready to vote no to get him into the Hall of Fame. And you talk about, who's it going to hurt? Well, didn't he say, Frank Robinson said, if you let him in, I'm done with baseball? Yeah. There are plenty of other baseball players who they may have been jerks, but their actions didn't threaten to change the name from a sport to entertainment. To me, it's even more than the cardinal sin of what he did. He actually really could have made baseball, and who knows, maybe he did, into something that was rigged, that was just pure entertainment and no sport about it. And who's to say other people didn't bet? And that's true. He's the only one that got caught and admitted to it. But who's to say that he didn't, collude with other managers and other players to make sure things didn't happen? Because all the things that you said about him are true. He was the face of baseball, Charlie Hustle. He played it right. He was baseball. So, of course, he would have influence with other managers and other players. So I don't think it's beyond the stretch of imagination to think that he may even try to influence other folks to collude. So with that said, I'm actually good with the lifetime ban being over. I'm just, that's what it is. It's a lifetime ban. I agree with that. Now he's banned, or now he's not banned. And Jeff, I don't look at it necessarily as punitive as you do. I don't look at it as they took that away from him. They took him being able to see that away from him, and I'm not much. I look at it as that's what the punishment was. I mean, that's what you did. That's what you admitted to. That's what you accepted. So no one took it from him versus that's just what it was. And for him to get into the Hall of Fame now, I would go in there ready to vote no and would be willing to listen to be able to convince me otherwise. But there are other, like JJ said, there are other old dudes, old players that did everything, they were on greenies and all this other stuff, but what they didn't do was actually mess with the definition of sport. They didn't mess with the integrity of the game that I think would be offended, and you would run the risk of tainting the game. Again, he's everything that you said about baseball, and he almost wrecked baseball.
Let me ask you this. Yeah, no, I appreciate it because I think you're right in everything you said. But to me, and this is me, the Hall of Fame is about, are you a Hall of Fame player? You're not arguing he's a Hall of Fame player, right? There is no argument, right?
No. I mean, again, he is the all-time hits leader. He as a baseball player, arguably he was the best ever.
Then to me, he should be in the Hall of Fame as a player, and posthumously, to have a plaque there that tells his whole story. And I almost there's a part of me I could almost make an argument that it is a disservice to the game to not have him in there and tell his whole story because of what he did and how he did it and the defiance with which he displayed. But again, as a Hall of Fame player, to me, I still believe he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and like I said, I agree. And to me, like I said, who does it hurt? All those credentials that you just said, they're 100% right. And in baseball's Hall of Fame, if someone wants to say, well, this guy, he actually attacked the very fabric of baseball itself, and to put him into the highest place in baseball, I don't want to do that because he did the ultimate, he committed the ultimate baseball sin. I could listen to it either way.
Totally respect that. All right, great call. Thanks, man.
Appreciate the time.
See ya. 505-246-0610. Emails coming in. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Aaron, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, thanks for taking the call. I think a lot of people don't understand what the Hall of Fame is. At the baseline level, the Hall of Fame is a museum. And if you go into any museum, it's going to tell a story about the topic of that museum. And you can't tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose.
Funny you say that. I've used that line.
Can't tell the story of the Civil War without the Confederacy. Were they wrong? Yes. Did what Pete Rose did was wrong? Yes. But you can't tell the story about baseball without having Pete Rose in there. The goal of baseball is to hit the ball. Pete Rose did that more than anybody else. And you've got to be able to tell that story in the Hall of Fame. This is what he was as a player. This is what he was as a manager. This is what he was as a human being. This is a flawed person who is in this museum that we dedicate to telling the story of baseball. And you just can't have a legitimate museum without having one of those historical figures in there. Like I said, it's like having a Civil War museum, but we're not going to talk about Stonewall Jackson. We're not going to talk about any of the Confederate leaders, just the Union ones. It doesn't make any sense.
It's a great. I've used that line so many times because I agree with it. You can't tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose, and that place tells the story of baseball. Now, people argue that he's in there. There's his memorabilia. Okay, but we're honoring baseball. We're telling the story. But I totally agree with you, and I've used that exact argument many, many times. You can't tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose.
And his plaque has to be in there, and there has to be something. And his memorabilia is there. I've been there. Mm-hmm. There's some bats. There's an all-time leader hits thing. That's all in there. But the part about gambling, the part about who he is, part about just how that worked out, that's not in there.
Tell the story. Tell the story. All right, man. Great call.
Exactly.
Thanks.
It's a museum. At the end of the day, it's a museum.
Appreciate you. Thanks. Oh, I think he's dead on. 505-246-0610. You want me to take one more? You want me to go to break? All right, I'm going to break. If you're there, please stay there. We're going to get to you right when we get back. If you're shopping for an engagement ring, I got your spot. John Thomas Jewelers is my jeweler. They will be your jeweler as well because they're the best jewelers in town. John Thomas Jewelers has over 3,000 ladies and men bridal rings on hand right now. You can go try them on. If you don't like one of those 3,000 they have, they'll make whatever it is you're looking for. If you don't know what you're looking for, they'll walk you through the process, and they'll make it right there on site in their state-of-the-art design center. So whether you're looking for an engagement ring, you're shopping for a wow anniversary gift, shopping for something for graduation, you are looking for just something for you, see why John Thomas Jewelers is the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town. Fastest-growing jeweler in New Mexico 3 straight years, even voted the coolest jewelry store in America by In-Store Magazine. So many reasons to see for yourself why John Thomas Jewelers is the best jeweler in town. 3rd floor, Lewis University Building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Mall. 2440 Louisiana Northeast. John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction and safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a...
Where you're coming up here in just a few minutes. It is Burger Week, and you are going to love hops and dough. I mean, I just know you are. We're going to turn you on to that here in a minute. 505-246-0610. Got the keyword for our backyard blow-up coming up at 8:25 as well. It'll probably be about 8:26 or 7. And then when we come back, I'll get you an update on what's going on with the Lobos at the NCAA Golf. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame? The arguments, both sides are really good. Adolph, figured this one might get you off the bench. Good morning, Adolph. Here on the Sports Animal. How you living?
Morning. Yeah, I won't reiterate my feelings on it. I've made that known over the years that I don't believe that he should be inducted. But I did find this morning an interview that was conducted with Pete Rose just 10 days before his death.
Yep.
And I'll read these words over the air. Quote, I've come to the conclusion, I hope I'm wrong, that I'll make the Hall of Fame after I die, which I totally disagree with, because the Hall of Fame is for two reasons, your fans and your family. And it's for your family if you're here. It's for your fans if you're here, not if you're 10 feet under. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I'd almost push back a little bit. I'm gonna guess there's a faction and probably centered in Cincinnati, Ohio, of his fans who would rejoice and throw a damn parade if he ever got in. Don't you think?
Oh, sure. His quote continues. What good is it going to do me or my fans if they put me in the Hall of Fame a couple of years after I pass away? What's the point? Because they'll make money over it. Close quote. Those may have been the most poignant and true words that Pete Rose has ever spoken about his situation.
That's true. Yeah.
I spent 25 years as a trial lawyer here.
Right.
And sometimes, no matter how good I thought I was making a closing argument at trial, the words of a witness always carried more weight. So in this situation, I agree with Pete. His words carry weight just 10 days before his passing.
It's interesting.
What's the point? So I agree with Pete.
For the first time. It's good to hear you. Don't be a stranger. It's interesting. I would push back a little bit on it. But again, I respect the other side. I'll emphasize. I believe Pete should be in. I don't know that it hurts anybody. I don't believe you could tell the story of baseball without having the all-time hit leader. It is a museum that tells the story of baseball. Pete he's dead. His lifetime ban is over. But we'll see. We'll see. Text line, we need Pete in the Hall, period. One of the greatest all-time ever. It's from Steve. This one, it says, I'm against Pete Rose going into the Hall of Fame. Baseball is about integrity. Rose was betting while he was in the dugout. Totally get that one, too. I hear both sides of it. I err on the side of, dude, hit ball better than anybody in the history of the game. The game, as a Hall of Fame player, I put him in as a Hall of Fame player. I understand what he did, but I respect Adolph and Grady on the other side. All right, we're going to continue that. But it is Burger Week, and you are going to love our sweet deal today. Today's sweet deal goes live on our website, sportsanimalabq.com, right at 9 o'clock. Get there, click on the sweet deal logo, and for just $30, you get $60 to spend at Hops and Dough. Mikey is here, marketing manager. Jonathan is here, manager. What's
Good
up,
morning.
you guys? Should Pete be in the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with you. The lifetime ban is over.
I mean, life is over, lifetime is over, right?
Yep.
It'll go. I think he gets on a ballot, and then we'll see. And those of us who are old enough to remember Pete play, like there was nothing like it. But you look at historically, and I don't know how you tell the story. I don't know how you tell the story about burgers, period, but let alone in this town without Hops and Dough. What's going on at your spot?
We've got all kinds of burgers for you, plus our famous Monte Cristo sandwich.
Yeah, you were saying this is the best one in town, period.
Absolutely. We just won the Hot Plate Award with Albuquerque Magazine.
All right, somebody's going, Monte Cristo, what is that? Old school. I can't find it. Go out, because a Monte Cristo is...
It is a ham and Swiss sandwich that is dipped in brown sugar pancake batter and then deep fried to goodness. Served with a little raspberry sauce on the side.
Yep. Your place is over on the west side.
Yes, sir.
2 blocks north of Montano and Coors, correct?
Yep, in the Riverside Plaza.
You guys won an award from Albuquerque Magazine, Best Hot Plate. You have not just the Monte Cristo, but the burgers. You've got a tap room, unique meals, craft beers. You guys are really becoming a spot out there. Or I don't want to say becoming, have become.
Absolutely. Yeah. 45 beers on tap.
45?
Yep. 45.
So is it always 45?
Always 45.
How do you, what's the rotation? If there's a new beer, how do you decide, I guess whichever one's, I got a full keg, it's not selling, that's the one that comes off.
Yep. If it's not selling, then we're probably not going to put it back on the line.
Do you sell more craft beers, or is it still Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Light?
Oh, craft. We've only got about 7 domestics.
Really?
Yep.
Let me guess, Modelo?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Modelo kills it, huh? Dose?
Yep.
Coors Light?
Yep.
Still Bud Light?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. We do still have water on tap. Yes, sir.
I get it. Look, I don't care who judges me, but my brother was a beer snob. I love me some really good craft beers. But if I'm going to spend 4 hours on the golf course, I'm going to drink beer in the sun. You call it water. I don't care what you call it.
Well, yeah, you got to stay hydrated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So you're going to go to that
for
sure.
That's what I do. Yeah, you drink 4 or 5 of those thickies.
No, you're gone.
That's where I lose my money on the 15th hole. I'm just giving it away. That's why he falls apart going down 15, 16, 17, 18. And I'm drinking Coors Light or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So the thought behind your place, because you're locally owned out on the west side. You've got a great atmosphere, a wonderful menu. What's the thought behind your spot that makes you different?
Community. Yeah. Everything is community. Everything is done with our heart, our love. We love to give back to the community. It's all about family, community, and love.
Pet friendly.
Absolutely. We got a patio.
Yeah. So it's not just about, go in there. So can I watch a ball game there?
Yes, you can.
All right. I can listen to music there?
live music. We got a jukebox.
Really?
Yep. 5 TVs all around. Any wall you look at, you're going to find a game on.
One of those TVs is reserved for my animals.
Is that right?
Yes.
So what's on
you
there
get 4. You get to pick 4.
So I can watch a game on the other one, but it's the animals on that other TV?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. I can't recall last time I saw a jukebox. Like Route 66 has one, the diner.
Well, ours is a little
Did I run a
upgraded.
card through there? How
Ours is a modern jukebox.
I'm not throwing quarters in there anymore?
No,
Yeah.
you're
I know.
Apple paying.
Yeah,
You're
that's
Apple
what I figured.
paying.
I love that. Is it all digital music too? Like
Yep.
you're on Apple Music or something, so you can just pick, like you got the full library?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, your spot's killer. It's called, well, first of all, get out there and get on the website. Get on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the Sweet Deal icon. Get there at 9 o'clock. It's Hops and Dome. It's 2 blocks north of Montagna on Coors. It's on Albuquerque's west side. Sweet Deal is going to get you $60 to spend out there for just $30. Take advantage of their eats, the Monte Cristo. Put them on your lunch run. Where are we going to have lunch today? Hey, let's meet at Hops and Dough. Hey, where are we going after work? Going to get a beer? Let's go to Hops and Dough. Where we're going to go watch Jonathan's Pets on the big screen. Let's go to Hops and Dough. Let's do that. And there's 45 beers on tap. I'm going to guess there's something you want. How often do your servers get, can I get you something to drink? Yeah, what do you have on tap? And they're like,
Oh, yeah. Or you get super specific, and they're like, how many pale ales do you have?
17, dude. I pick one.
Or so we have like a board, and
how many Ambers do you have?
Yeah. So that'll happen. People order. They'll be like, "I want number 16." Yeah. I'm like, "Oh man, we'll have to turn around."
Yeah. Now I got to figure out which one's on 16 this week.
Oh wait, that's 15. Damn it! I want.
Yeah.
All right. It's great to see you guys. Congratulations on the success. Take advantage of the Sweet Deal. It goes live at 9 o'clock on our website. Here's what else we got going on. You know what? I'm going to give you the backyard blow up when we come back. Is that cool? I'll give you the keyword. I know I promised you at 8:25. It's 8:27. It's going to be at 8:31. But stick around. I will give you the backyard blow up keyword. We got a contest going on. You can win $15,000 worth of stuff, including a pool and spa from Valentine's Swimming Pool and Spa. You get a hot tub from them, and we got a pottery set from Jackalope and a $5,000 gift card from Sinlon. The keyword when we come back. It is the opening drive. He's JJ Buck. I'm merely Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is brought to you by Malloy Los Lunas.
April was so much fun. Ram.
Thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant.
Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A hot tub from Valentine's Swimming Pool and Spa, and an American Home Furniture and Mattress Plus patio set, and a pottery set from Jackalope, and a $5,000 gift card from Sinlawn, and an annual plan from AAA Pest Control. The prize package is worth over $15,000 from the sports animal. Today's keyword is water. W-A-T-E-R, water. Please, if you'd like to be entered, text the keyword water to 505-246-0610, and you will then be registered to win. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. The NCAA men's golf regionals are going on. Top 5 teams will advance to the NCAA championships next week. Lobos trying to get back. It is the final round. They are in Tallahassee. Florida State is your host. They are running away with it at 28 under. Ole Miss at 13 under. Georgia in third place at 7 under. Lobos are 2 strokes back of Georgia. 5 under par. More importantly, they are 5 strokes clear of the cut line. Louisville, so USC's coming up behind them now. USC is 3 strokes behind New Mexico. And then Louisville is even par. Lobos are playing holes 6 through 9. Mesa Fowler today is 2 under after playing the front. Wyatt Province and Carson Heron both 1 under on the day. Yesterday, star Clark Sonnenberg, the freshman from Albuquerque Academy, rough start. Went bogey, double bogey to start. He is 2 over par. But the Lobos right now are sitting in 4th place with the back 9 plus to go and in a good position to get back to the NCAA tournament, the finals for their 2nd straight year. The Aggies are in Auburn. New Mexico State is playing in the Auburn regional. Auburn running away. I mean, they're 26 under. 2nd place is 3 under. Isn't it amazing? You play on your own course. You know your course pretty well, right?
That's pretty good.
I mean, you're playing at the University of Auburn University Club. They're 26 under. Texas A&M is -3. JJ, the Aggies are in 3rd place right now. They're playing holes 4 through 7 right now. Ethan Close is even par today, and Mateo Pan is even par today. Aiden Mitchell, their stud, is 1 over. But they are +2. That's 3rd place, 2 strokes clear of UCLA, 3 strokes clear of Georgia Tech, and 4 strokes clear of the cut line. So it's going to be really, really tight for the Aggies. There's a lot of teams right there. SMU's at +9. So I would say there's 7 teams. Well, 7, so that means 6 fighting for 5 spots, because I would say Auburn's pretty safe at -26.
Yeah, I think you're pretty good.
Yeah. So I'll keep you up to date on that, but that'd be really, really cool if they could both get in. And I know Lobo fans, you're obviously you're pulling for yours, and you should be. All right, a lot of good conversation on the Pete Rose stuff. Let me be very clear on a couple of things where we stand with Pete Rose. Pete Rose is not automatically getting into the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose has had his lifetime ban lifted by baseball. Pete Rose is dead. Passed away last September. Once his life ended, according to Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, kind of concurred with where I am. Once your lifetime ban is over, or once your life is over, your lifetime ban is over. But Pete is not in the Hall of Fame, and he's not necessarily going in. Pete has to be nominated, like Shoeless Joe Jackson, right, JJ? This historical overview committee will develop a ballot of 8 names for the classic baseball era committee. They will evaluate the candidates. This is pre-1980, and vote when they meet in December of 2027. Is that right? How do you feel? Should Pete get in? There's been really good conversation on both sides of this. I appreciate where Adolph's coming from and where Grady's coming from. They both say no. I believe that Pete should be in. I don't know how you tell the story of baseball without Pete Rose. His plaque should be on the wall with players who weren't nearly as good as him. His plaque should be on the wall, and it should tell the entire story of Pete's career. How he was banned from baseball, how he disgraced himself. This says, I understand those that are against Pete Rose being in the Hall of Fame. I'm on the other side of that fence and believe it has been long overdue. I am not, if I'm not mistaken, he never bet on his own games, never influenced the outcome of the game, no controversy around performance-enhancing drugs, issues off the field, etc. The perception of a personal vendetta from Bart Giamatti towards Rose seemed to be more true over time. Regardless, Charlie Hustle stats tell the story. Glad he's going in. Not necessarily going in, and he did bet on his own games. He bet on his team. He never bet that we know against his team. But on games that he didn't bet, here's the perception, right? And you tell me if I'm wrong. You bet on your team to win tonight, but you don't bet on them tomorrow. Is that kind of betting against them? Do you know something?
Well, that's betting is to me is betting, and even if you say you're going to bet on your team to win, well, if you're not winning, what's the easy thing to do?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Start influencing the outcome.
Yeah, like you can't. I mean, there's no apologizing for Pete. I'm not one who says, "Well, it's not that bad." It's no. But again, where I sit, Pete paid his penance. His lifetime ban. He never got to work in Major League Baseball. Never got to go into the Hall of Fame while he was alive. And I appreciate what Adolph says. His family would make money off of this or whatever. I'm not sure. I see what the damage would be at this point to let Pete in the Hall of Fame. I got a museum in Cooperstown that tells me the story of baseball. I got a guy who was a 17-time All-Star, 3-time champion who had more hits, more at-bats than anybody in the history of the game. Throw ball, hit ball, catch ball. He hit ball better than anybody in the history of the game. Inarguable, his stats, he is a Hall of Fame player. I put him in as a Hall of Fame player. Not as a manager, not as a person, but as a Hall of Fame player. Because there's guys on those walls in Cooperstown, and if you've been there, you know it. And if not, just look at the list, who were not half the player Pete Rose was. I get it, Jeff, and they weren't half the a-hole he was. Okay, that might be true, too. It might totally be true. But is it, I mean, are we judging the character? Well, maybe, and maybe we are, man. Maybe we are. And if that's the case, okay, I get it. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We're not going to know for a minute. But it's going to be a really good conversation, I think, over time. And watching this thing play out and people trying to figure it out. And I people are pretty entrenched, and especially, we heard from Grady and Adolph, both I believe are of the age. I know Adolph is, and I believe Grady is. You saw Pete play. I saw Pete play. He's a Hall of Fame player. But all right, we're going to talk baseball coming up at the top there. What do you think Todd Brown thinks? I'm going to ask Todd, the Global Baseball coach. Where do you think he falls on that?
We'll find out at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. We'll do that when we get back. I got a little NFL stuff for you. The schedule comes out today. They're going to take over the world this afternoon.
Yes, they are.
The NFL will take over the world with their schedule, but it is dripping, and I'll give you what the latest that we know from the NFL schedule. And Bill Belichick was at the ACC spring meetings, talked about. What did he mumble? Tell you that when we get back as well. Where are you going to watch the big stuff? We're going to watch the Indy 500, May 25th. Put the pedal to the metal, drive your axe to Twin Peaks for the Indy 500. Start your engine with sauced and tossed wings. Stay fueled for all 500 miles with 29-degree drafts and handcrafted cocktails. That is May 25th. The next day is Memorial Day, and on Memorial Day at Twin Peaks, they're honoring those who serve. So if you're active military or you're veteran, go spend the day with the Twin Peaks girls and enjoy a special discount on your order. Coming up this week, the 17th, it is World Whiskey Day. Twin Peaks is your source for some of the top whiskeys on the shelves. Celebrate World Whiskey Day with a tried and true favorite, or try something new over a crystal clear ice ball. Allocated whiskeys may vary, but they're going to have something that you love. And then the conference finals in the NBA tip off May 20th at Twin Peaks. Watch the games, wall-to-wall scenic views with a round of 29-degree drafts for you and your crew. Who you got making it through to the finals? Who's going to represent the East and the West? Go watch it all at Twin Peaks. See you there.
This report. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like this shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best.
It's coming out drip, drip, drip. You knew the Cowboys would open up that first Thursday. They'll play in Philadelphia. Now you know the Cowboys will host the Chiefs Thanksgiving. This is a big day for a lot of people. Are you that guy? Is this a big day for you on schedule?
Never a bigger day. Biggest day ever. Huge day.
Nobody's ever seen a day like this? Nobody's ever seen anything like this?
Never a day like this.
Is it all right if I just won't watch the schedule review? It just doesn't do it for me?
No, it's not all right, Jeff.
All right. Then I'll watch it. All right.
You need to stare at it.
Then I'll. What time does it start? Now? Like when is it?
Don't take your eyes off it. Just stare at the TV
when do I
for
gotta
5
stare?
hours straight.
Oh my good Lord. Let's go through every and the Jaguars will play. I don't care. It's funny.
I do care because over-under season.
Yeah, I'll look at. I mean, I'll look at that and say, 7.5, 9.5. Okay.
Vikings being shipped overseas for 2 weeks.
Twice. Yeah, they go to Dublin. They go to London. All right. I'm more interested in this Trey Hendrickson story. He won't play on his current deal. He's only going to make $15 million a year. That ends the way they all do, right? I guess I'm more interested, but I'm not. Like, he's really good, but he's in an organization that has historically not paid players, especially defensive players. And Trey Hendrickson is the Bengals' best pass rusher. He's really, really good. He's going to the final year of his contract. He wants a long-term deal. The team's like, yeah, no. And he was at camp yesterday. He's showing up, but he's holding in. And I don't know what the number is that he should get, but he joined the Bengals in 2021. He was a free agent. He's one of the best players in the league. He led the NFL in sacks last year. Him and Jamar Chase helped them break a 9-year drought of not having an all-pro selection. And so in March, the Bengals told him, go ahead, see if you can find a trade. Tuesday said he wanted to clear up the misconception that there was some sort of predetermined return that Hendrickson believed he could fetch a trade. Quote, there's no way of knowing that. We were told that they were looking, what they were looking for, and it was 5 first-round picks. I would have agreed. I'm not getting 5 first-round picks for anybody.
No.
What are we talking about?
Unless you're Rudy Gobert. You can get 4.
So this ends where? I mean, let me give you the discrepancy. He's set to make $15.8 million base salary this year. The market's changed, obviously, in the last 12 months. You can decide whether you think he's good as Myles Garrett or not, but he's in that same conversation. Myles Garrett of the Browns in this offseason did kind of the same thing, held out, sought a trade, whatever, and then agreed to an extension that averages over $40 million annually. You can tell me he's not that good, fine. But then he's got to be in the mid-30 category, doesn't he?
Yeah, this one is fascinating for the Bengals, who have had a reputation of not paying guys, and yet this offseason they did 2 giant deals with wide receivers.
Yeah.
And so, all right, you got Joe Burrow, you got Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins locked down, and now you have to make these decisions of, all right, you have a dude that has 17.5 sacks. You just drafted a guy in the first round that had 3 career sacks in college. So where's the production going to come from?
It's going to come from Trey Hendrickson when they decide to pay him. I think that's how this thing plays out, because it's kind of how they all play out. Guy shows up at camp, holds in, disgruntled. I want to be here, but I'm not going to play on this contract. I'm undervalued. Boom, $40 million annually. All right, Lobo Baseball. Final 3 games of the regular season this Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Santa Ana Star Field. They're in play for a conference championship. Their head coach is Todd Brown. He'll join us next. How do they get to the top of the mountain? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the Sportsman.
Place to be a kid.
Bring it back. These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sports Animal. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM
and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Play all season to get a chance. Well, Lobo baseball has a chance, and a really good chance. Final 3 games of the regular season will be played out at Santa Ana Star Field for a Lobo baseball team that is having a terrific season. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Fresno State will be in town. Lobos are sitting in second place in the conference with 3 games to go. They are 1 game behind conference leading Nevada, tied for second with Fresno State, the team who will be in town on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Why is it so imperative to finish first or second? You save some pitching in the conference tournament, and you get a bye in the first round. They got all kinds of stuff planned out there. Pre-game tailgate on Thursday, senior day on Saturday. They'll have special first pitch celebrities out there, and I'll give you the times and everything that's going on. But you want to find some time to get out to Santa Ana Star Field and watch a really, really good Lobo baseball team vie for a Mountain West Conference championship. 6 o'clock Thursday, 1 o'clock Friday, noon on Saturday. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm reading that they're saying free admission. Todd Brown is in his 4th year as the head coach of Lobo baseball, and he is with us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Todd. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
No, appreciate you spending some time. I know you got a lot going on, and I guess you get down to the end and really, you work all season. You want a chance to win a championship, and here you are going into the final weekend of the season. You got a chance to win a championship.
Yeah, every coach will tell you you want to be playing meaningful games in May and hopefully into June, and here we are with a lot on the line. You got a chance to win a regular season championship. You have a chance to be, if that doesn't happen, you have a chance to be the 1 or 2 seed, which is a huge advantage, not having to play the play-in game on Wednesday. A lot of opportunities for us right in front of us, and we're at home. We've got to go out and play well because the opponent we have coming in Fresno State has those same opportunities in front of them. So this conference is wild. If you just look at the standings, you got 1, 2, and 3 are separated by a game, and then 4 through 8 are separated by a game, and they're playing each other, and it's going to be wild to sort out who makes the tournament by Saturday afternoon with all the tiebreakers that could happen.
Yeah, and you're playing so well, and you talk about the league. It is bunched up. I mean, the difference between the top team and the last team, which is 8th, is just 6 games. Lobos are 29-20 overall, 16-11 in league. You are 18-6 at home, really playing well at home. And Todd, there's been times, you're hitting the ball, and your teams have hit the ball, I think, throughout your whole career. You're pitching pretty well, and you've been getting some really, really good pitching performances this year, and I think that's why you're sitting where you are.
Yeah, baseball comes down to pitching and defense still, and even here and playing in altitude where the ball flies a little bit and scores are, a little bit higher than normal, you still have to pitch and defend, and that's what travels well, what plays in all different kinds of conditions. We've got a good one going on Daxton Purser on Thursday night at 6 o'clock. He's our left-handed senior. Been through, a lot of the tough times throughout his career, a lot of experience, a lot of college innings, and we're looking for him to get us off to a good start.
Todd, what do you see in those tight moments in games for your team when it comes down to making those final few plays, the last couple of innings, from the pitching, the defense? What have you seen in the tight moments?
Well, I see that our veterans have really stepped up and are leading the way. We are an older group, and, we have 15 seniors. Well, 7 of them can return again next year with that new Pavia rule. So, we're going to be kind of old again next year, but those guys have the experience. Those guys have been through the ups and the downs throughout their career, whether it's at junior college or the school before they got here. And those guys have done a good job of leading the way and showing us how to get out of these struggling times because, nothing's easy. We go through some tough innings, some tough games, and how you bounce back is determined how long that bad stuff sticks around. And our older guys have really led us out of those tough times.
And speaking about bouncing back, when you played Fresno State and Fresno Bulldogs took 3 games from you, but you came right back. You beat Texas Tech, and then kind of got back on track. What did you see from your team after that Fresno State series to get them to where they are right now?
Well, we had a pretty tough talk after that series. We did not play well. I didn't think that we competed at times. We kind of rolled over at times, and we had a pretty fiery conversation after Sunday's game, and they took it to heart and came back, and that's about the time that we started playing our best baseball. Is we knew we were underachieving. We knew that we were not hitting on all strides like we should. We went back to the basics, and that comes down to we got to get better starts. We got to have cleaner innings on the mound. We got to play better defense, and we got to really hit, and we got to score runs to take pressure off. And we started getting back to the basics, and that moment was kind of the point where our season started to turn around.
Who led the fiery talk? Was it the coach and players listen? And if it was the coaching staff, how was it? Was it received the right way? Obviously, you got the right result.
Well, to be honest with you, it was me. Yeah. I had enough, and I basically had a talk with the coaching staff separately. I had a talk with the team, and then I pointed to a bunch of guys and named off a bunch of guys that I wanted to handle it from here. And those guys have done a great job. And that's our captains and our seniors.
He's Todd Brown, Lobo baseball coach, with us on the Sports Animal. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. You're hitting the ball. Your teams have hit the ball your whole career. I think you got 8-9 guys hitting over 295. And you got to score runs, especially in this league, to win. When you look at now coming down the stretch, are you getting key hits in key situations? I know the last game you played, you were down, I think, 5-1 at Air Force, and you just needed that one more key hit. You battled all the way back to 5-4 and couldn't get that one, but it feels like when you need it this season, you've been getting those key hits.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to build a lineup 1 through 9, so you're just not so reliant on the home run, and that's what we were a little bit at Air Force, was too reliant on the home run. We've got to get back to getting a bunch of hits and stringing them together. But also when you stack your lineup 1 through 9 and you have guys that can deliver 1 through 9 or are going pretty good, it's a really tough lineup to get out. And what we want to stay away from is just relying on the same 1 or 2 guys to get all the hits and all the RBIs. And that's when we seem to struggle a little bit at the plate, is when we're just relying too much on 1 or 2 guys. And so, a lot of times we're running out 6 left-handed pitchers, and we got right-handed guys pitching against us. It's a really good advantage for us, and we're breaking those guys up with some right-handers in between, so they can't go lefties heavy in the bullpen. But really, it comes down to having quality at bats and stringing some good at bats together, and our guys have done a great job all year.
It's the evolution of your program over the 4th year now, right? And you've talked about making it yours and just building it, keeping guys here. Obviously, retention in college athletics today is so hard, and you'll deal with that when the season's over. But as you've built this thing and gotten it to this point, what's been the key to getting it to here?
Well, this is the first year that I've been able to retain my coaching staff. My first year, lost my recruiting coordinator. Second year, lost my recruiting coordinator again. Yeah. And this year we've had back-to-back years where the coaching staff has stayed together. So I think that was key. We had some big replacements. You think of Holland and Spinrath last year. Those guys were huge, hitting 3-4 for us. Everybody's like, how are you going to ever replace those 2 guys? Well, we upgraded some other positions. We got some new recruits in. And, here we are heading into the last weekend of the year, leading the country and hitting again. It's just getting good quality players that want to do it the right way on and off the field, and that want more of the team concept and all those things, and want to win and want that brotherhood, that team chemistry, all those things come together, and you can achieve great things. And this is a long story program, and, this is year 4, like you said. And we're trying to go from worst. My first year, we finished last place, we're trying to go from worst to first, which is really hard to do in a 4-year span.
Yeah, you got the opportunity. All right, get people out there, and I know you got a lot going on, so it's going to be. Here's what's going on. Fresno State and New Mexico are tied for second place. Fresno State and New Mexico will play a 3-game series at Santa Ana Star Field. It's Thursday at 6, Friday at 1, and Saturday at noon. Nevada will be playing San Jose State. Nevada's 1 game in front of you. Who's got the tiebreaker? If you end up tied with Nevada, do you know who gets the 1 seed?
We don't have the tiebreakers with Fresno or Nevada, so
so you need to take 2 or 3 here.
Whoever wins 2 out of 3 here is guaranteed at least the 2 seed.
Right.
So that's a critical time.
Yeah, and the 2 seed gets you the bye in that first round.
I think that, Nevada's going to San Jose. San Jose just went to Fresno and beat them 2 out of 3. We're hoping San Jose's playing really well and takes care of business against Nevada. But no matter what, the Lobos have to take care of Fresno State, or it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. All right, and you got did I read free admission this week? Is that what I read?
Yeah, free admission all weekend. What we're really trying to do is we're trying to pack the house. I'm trying to get fraternities and sororities to come out. I'm trying to get other clubs up on campus to come out. I'm trying to get all of our other sports. Coach Eck said that he's trying to send the football team.
Beautiful.
Hopefully, we get the best crowd we can on Thursday night. We play well, show well. People like what they see. They're going to keep coming back.
Yeah, no, they will. Hey, real quick, I wanted to ask you this. You're a baseball guy. I grew up watching Pete Rose. The Lifetime band, like Pete passed away, and so his Lifetime band ends with his lifetime, I imagine. I believe Pete should be in the Hall of Fame. As a player, to me, undoubtedly, he's a Hall of Fame player. You coach the game every day. Throw ball, hit ball, catch ball. He hit ball better than anybody. But I understand the people who say he sullied the integrity of the game and understanding what he did. Not apologizing for anything that he did. I feel that Pete should be in the Hall of Fame. Now that he's eligible to be in the Hall, your thoughts? Do you think Pete should be in the Hall of Fame?
I do. Again, I don't want to make excuses for what he did. But I do think that, if we're going to recognize the best baseball players, that guy is as good as it gets. Now it's going to be up to the voters, right?
Yeah, the historical overview committee.
Now that he's eligible,
yeah.
It's up to those guys. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but I would be in favor of him being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Do you remember Pete playing? I mean, I remember when I played, when I was young, coaches would always draw comparisons. Look how he plays the game. Look at, Charlie Hustle, how he plays the game the right way, was always called the right way. And, maybe I'm a romantic that way with the game of baseball, that I remember Pete before the way some of the younger people remember Pete, right? That's all they know of Pete was he was a gambler, he was a cheater. Yeah, no, all that's true, but this dude played the game a way that, very few ever have played it.
Yep, he's a good. I got a chance to see him live as a youngster. My parents grew up in Ohio, so when I was a little kid, I used to go back to Ohio quite a bit in the summertime and go to Riverfront and watching the Big Red Machine when I was a youngster. And I was telling my wife this story that I was right behind the dugout, and Dan Dreesen, you remember Dan Dreesen?
Sure, yeah, played first base. Yeah.
He rolled a ball. He goes, "Here you go, kid," and gave me a ball, and I still have that ball.
That's so cool.
And, memories like that in baseball and sports really are special, and that's what we're trying to do, is create a team and atmosphere here with the Lobos that you win championships, you get rings, that team chemistry, the chance to that camaraderie with your teammates the rest of your lives is something pretty special.
You got your own big red machine going on there, big cherry red machine going on. Lobos are playing for a conference championship. It is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday at 1, Friday. Thursday at 6. Thursday at 6. Yep. Friday at 1, and then Saturday at noon, and then conference tournaments next week, and those games are going to be right here on These Sports Animals, so we're happy to have those games on These Sports Animal. Hey, Todd, congratulations on what's been a terrific season so far. Really appreciate you spending some time with us. Get out there and watch this Lobo baseball team. They're exciting. They're fun. It's free. You're going to be able to go out there and really enjoy. The weather's going to be terrific, so go out there and enjoy some baseball. Best of luck against the Bulldogs this weekend. Let's catch up early next week before the conference tournament.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me on. See everybody Thursday night.
All right, be well, and thank you. Todd Brown is the Lobo baseball coach. They're having a terrific year, man. an opportunity in a league with, with Fresno State, who's won a national championship, San Diego State with all the pros that they've kicked out, Washington State's in this league this year, and you look at where they are, and they're in a position now. They have a good weekend. They can get a bye in the conference tournament and win a championship, and it's a big deal. And he thinks Pete should be in the Hall of Fame. It's the opening drive. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
Come to find out, the LA Lakers are not who we thought they were.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Really good conversation today on the Pete Rose stuff. If you got an opinion, a thought, should Pete be in the Hall of Fame? 505-246-0610. John says, I can go either way on Pete Rose, but if you go to he was the best hitter ever, so he deserves to be in, where do you go with Bonds then? He too is the best ever at what he did. I think it's kind of a slippery slope if we're just basing it on you can't tell the story without ... I personally believe that Bonds and McGuire both did the enough with or without steroid. You still have to hit the ball right on the button. They both did. Bonds more than any, but they broke the rules, and there are consequences for that. As much as I believe the stats are pretty legit, they knew what the consequences were, and they did it anyway, and they shouldn't be in. Okay, maybe Bonds and those guys get in when they're dead too. I don't know. I believe that the steroid era was an era. You're just going to eliminate that whole era? All those guys that you think did it, none of them get in? We're just going to eliminate an era of baseball because, we think they cheated. Okay. I'm not telling you there's a right or wrong answer here. But, and if you're going to ask me, I think Bonds, McGuire probably should be in too because they were the best of that era. But maybe they get in posthumously as well. We'll see. All right, we get sports in the daytime tomorrow, JJ. When we're on tomorrow, we get sports.
Yes, we do.
We get the PGA Championship tomorrow. Remember when Sunday at the Masters, we thought it was going to be the greatest thing ever, and it was pretty damn good. It's not exactly the good that we thought it was going to be, but it was really good. When Rory and Bryson DeChambeau were paired in the final round of the Masters, right? Rory was up and down, had it won, gave it back, puked all over himself, came back, won in extra holes against Justin Rose. Bryson faded back. And Bryson, after the match, you have no idea what he said about how he played, but you do remember him talking about Rory, and Bryce was like, he didn't talk to me once all day. He wouldn't talk to me. He was just being focused, I guess. It's not on me, though. That was his quote. And I remember having this conversation, you and I. And I'm like, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like Rory would be super chatty in that situation with all the pressure that had been on Rory to win the Masters, to win the career Grand Slam. So Rory hadn't really talked about it. He spoke today pre-PGA Championship at Quail Hollow. And he talked about why he didn't talk to Bryson. Quote, this is Rory McIlroy now. I don't know what he was expecting. We're trying to win the Masters. I'm not trying to be his best mate out there. Look, everyone approaches the game in different ways. Yeah, I was focused on myself and what I need to do. That really all it was. It wasn't anything against him. I just felt that's what I needed to do to try to get the best out of myself that day, end quote. Kind of what I thought. You have a problem with Rory not just being all chummy? You go out and you talk with your friends, but
I don't expect a player in the final round of a major tournament to treat it like it's Friday at Ladero.
Yeah. Back when Tiger was Tiger, he didn't talk to anybody on the golf course, let alone on Sunday at the Masters. There's a guy named Bob Rotella. He is McIlroy's sports psychologist. And he was talking to the BBC last month about their strategy at the Masters. And he said it was, to keep Rory laser focused throughout the tournament, ignore what everyone else was doing. And that included DeChambeau. Quote, this is the sports psychologist now. That didn't have anything to do with Bryson. That was just the game plan all week. And we wanted to get lost in it. We didn't want to pay attention to what anyone else was scoring or shooting or swinging or how far they were hitting it. We just wanted Rory to play his game, end quote. And look, it makes sense. Both of these guys are huge off the tee, right? They're both, by the way, favorites. I think they're the top two favorites to win this week at Quail Hollow. Bryson wants another shot, though. Quote, Bryson DeChambeau, I do believe you have to have a lot of distance out there. Rory's a great driver of the golf ball. His iron play is great, too. I think it's a golf course that sets up for his shot shapes pretty well. I think it sets up for mine as well. We'll see. Maybe I do well, maybe I don't, but I'm certainly going to give it my all. And I know Rory is. Hopefully we could have another go at it again like the Masters. To me, that was a fabricated, and I know everybody with a pen and a thumb is looking for an angle, right? And the story coming out of the Masters.
All you guys are going to write whatever you want.
That's all your bleep. You're going to write your bleep whatever. Yes. There was one story coming out of the Masters, dude, and it was the roller coaster that was Rory. It was the Rory coaster. It was just the Rory coaster. How he had the thing won after 13, then certainly after 15, then he puked all over himself, and then he came back and won. And he won the career Grand Slam, and he won the Masters final. There was one story coming out of the Masters, and I didn't give a damn if he was chatty Cathy or not with Bryson DeChambeau. And obviously Bryson cared. And I could see Bryson being that dude who likes to talk on the golf course. And there's personalities, man. And I'm not telling you, again, this is like the Pete Rose thing. I'm not telling you one way is right and one way is wrong. You know what the right way is? Your way. You know, we go out on a golf course, you play for $5, $10, $30, $100, whatever you're playing for. Your buddy hits a shot, nice shot, you know, right? You're talking, and then, hey, you know, they're checking their phone, and they're talking about work or whatever. Different world, man. Rory had his legacy on the line. I don't think it's too far to say that, right? Rory didn't just have, like it wasn't about a tournament and a paycheck. Rory's legacy was on the line. Like, he cemented his legacy, if it needed to be cemented, on that Sunday afternoon playing with Bryson DeChambeau. He didn't need to be all chummy and chatty with Bryson. And this isn't anything against Bryson either. I don't think he has anything that he's got to apologize or explain. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? All right. 505-246-0610. I'm going to reset when we get back. You can get into the hoops last night. Oh, we got to hit on your boy Bill Belichick. Because he spoke for the first time, I don't know, for the first time, since the CBS interview, where he was shut down by his girlfriend. Do not answer that. We're not talking about that. Remember that? He was at ACC Media Day. It's amazing. There are reports out that many people firmly believe that Belichick will not coach one game at North Carolina. I want to get into what he said, how he said it, and it's the weirdest thing because I know. I'm probably like you. I don't really care who he loves, but they can't stop talking about it. How's your May? Does it feel like May-cember? Right? All the hectic, all the chaos, but just no presents, no celebrations. Well, there's some celebrations, school events, graduation parties. You got a lot on your plate. Let On-the-Spot Automotive Detailing take something off your plate. Get a full detail from them. Let their award-winning team come out and detail your vehicle at your convenience when it works for you and where it works for you. That means the interior and the exterior and everything in between, under the hood, under the rims, around the rims, under the seat. Your car is going to look and feel brand new when they're done. You handle the chaos. They will handle the clean. On-the-Spot Automotive Detailing is best in the city. They've been voted that by you. Ask them about their paint protection film to guard against rock chips and bugs and road debris. Ceramic coating. It'll keep that shine all season long. And now that intense sun is here, it helps with UV oxidation damage all summer long. While you're at it, get your windows tinted for a cooler, more comfortable drive. On-the-Spot Automotive Detailing is all online. It's a great gift. They're reliable. They're best of the city. Book and buy at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades.
Past moment. All right. Bill Belichick yesterday was at the ACC spring meetings. This isn't typically a media event, but he did. They have media there. So he was on SportsCenter, and he was asked about, of course, the role that Jordan Hudson's playing and the potential impacts and the distraction. Belichick's quote, "It's really off to the side. It's a personal relationship, and she doesn't have anything to do with UNC football. I'm excited to be back in the coaching meetings, getting ready for June and then August when we get to training camp. June will be a big recruiting month for us, and then August we'll start getting ready for the season." That was his quote. He was then asked if his relationship with Hudson has come up in discussions with players. And he said they talk about things all the time. Great. Great. The conversations have been great, he said. We want to make the players the best they can be and provide them the best opportunity on and off the field. This won't go away, will it?
Well, this is the opposite of what you think about Bill Belichick, and then what every coach is saying is limit the off-field distractions, focus on football. And there's so much. And as you said a moment ago, like the fact there's people that think you won't coach a game is wild, but there's that thought.
It's a growing faction of people, don't you think? Yeah, it's a growing faction of people who think that. And I'm like you probably. I don't care who you love. Many of you are really bothered by this, and I get it in some respects, but whatever. For me, don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Well, Jeff, if it was your daughter, you're right, but it's not. And if it is my daughter, then yeah, I'll deal with it. And would I be comfortable with it? No, probably not. But your point is so right. Football coaches, and especially this one, hate distractions. It bothers them. But what's he supposed to do? So should he end his relationship with this? If in fact they're really into each other, and should he end?
Well, no, I think you just have to address it because it came up in such a dramatic way in an interview that was public. It wasn't someone seeking something out. Like it's happened in a CBS Sports or CBS interview.
CBS Morning, yeah.
About his book, and then it just became such a gigantic side story that you had to address it because it wasn't something that people were just digging or pushing to make something up. Like it was right there in front of everyone.
I agree. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Jeffrey?
Hey, just wanted to quickly resurrect the topic of Pete Rose. I'm old enough to remember just how fantastic a player the guy was, and he played with tremendous hustle and alacrity. And the point that's been made, I think it's the cogent point, such that you can't tell the story of baseball without him. And not only his performance and all the achievements, but he was also a participant of perhaps the greatest baseball team in the history of baseball, at least modern baseball, the great, Reds machine. And I'm a Dodger fan, so I wasn't a particular fan, but you had to do nothing but respect the machine that was the great team, the Cincinnati Reds. And, of course, he went on to play with the Phillies. But, for me, the guy should be in the Hall of Fame, no question. Think about this. Our society, and I know I'm not making an exact parallel comparison, but, some people commit criminal acts that are egregious. I won't go into the sordid details, and they're let off on parole and probation and everything. The guy Pete Rose faced public humiliation during his life, being repudiated by the game that he played so well publicly, and he was basically excommunicated and shunned and ostracized. So I think that was punishment enough. The fact that he's dead now, absolutely he should be part of the Hall of Fame with a plaque that talks about some of his transgressions as well. But I just wanted to add that other point that he was part of perhaps the greatest baseball team in modern baseball history in this era.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Tony Perez at first, Joe Morgan at second, David Concepcion at short, Pete Rose at third, George Foster, Ken Griffey, Cesar Geronimo, Johnny Bench. Yeah, that was the lineup. I don't know why I remember it from all those years ago, but they were that damn good. Fred, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Fred.
Hey, guys. I'm like Jeff. I'm all for Pete Rose getting in the Hall of Fame, but, I was at the 75 World Series with one of my boys.
Wow.
And that's when I really got to, know who Pete Rose was, and of course that was one of the greatest World Series of all time, and it was, and who will not forget the fist when he takes his hands and starts pointing "Go fair," the ball, "Go fair." But the thing that a lot of people don't realize what Pete did is he's the first one really to slide in head first, going into any base, and I have a picture of him. His feet have got to be at least 3 feet high. His hind feet sliding into home plate. And then, of course, he's the one that really made the rule and changed the rules of collisions at home plate as well as other bases. Now, it's incredible how these ball players can't block the plate. They can't do anything, and you can't knock them over or anything. So, anyway, he created that rule.
That was more the
too,
Buster
when
Posey.
Ray
I
Fosse-
think that was more Buster Posey. I mean, he blew up Ray Fosse in the All-Star game, but The Buster Posey thing, right, JJ? Wasn't that the one that kind of changed the rule when Buster Posey got blew up?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I just remember something got changed when Fossey got hit. I can't
Fossey's
remember.
career.
You're right about Posey, though. I agree with you there, too. But it's just some of the things that Pete Rose did, it's just amazing. And I definitely hope he makes it in, and that's all I wanted to call about. But I wanted to talk about the slides he makes and stuff too, and how tough he was when they called him Mr. Hustle.
Charlie.
That guy, I loved the way he ran to first base on a ground ball, the shortstop on a fly ball outfield. He always hustled. He never slowed down. I get so mad when I see ball players slowing down, going to first base or second base or whatever. You never saw him do that. So. Anyway, that's all I have to add.
That's great. Thanks, Fred.
Right.
Appreciate it. Yeah, another guy who watched Pete play, and I again, Adolph and Grady both have watched Pete play, and you appreciate what he did as a ball player, and you just can't excuse what he did to sully the integrity of the game, and I appreciate that too. The right answer is your answer. As much as I'm convicted in what I believe in regards to this, I absolutely respect the other side of this one, because people who love baseball are so passionate about baseball, right? People who love that game and grew up in that game and the numbers and the history of that game, you're so passionate about it. I get that, and somehow you think you're protecting it, and I'm good with that. I asked the question earlier: who would it hurt to put Pete in? Now that he's gone. And Adolph's retort was really good to it. But I still kind of lean on more. You can't tell the story of the game without him.
But you are telling the story of the game because you talk about it.
True. Yeah, no, that's right. You are. That's why I think this one's, it's not as cut and dry as maybe you even think it should be. All right, we'll wrap you up when we get back. I got a bunch of correspondence I still got to get to. You still have time to get in at 5:05. 246-0610. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jefferson Beata on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Our law firm has remained
This is Homer Science with the Sportsman Edge. Everyone knows who I'm rooting for in the Knicks Celtics
We would
series.
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Got shots?
All right, what are people going to be talking about as you go through your day? They're going to be talking about Oklahoma City beating the Nuggets last night. The final score was 112-105. Oklahoma City's up 3-2. They'll head back to Colorado to play game 6 tomorrow. Pacers finished off the Cavs 114-105. So Indiana is into the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA. Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, amongst others who have had their forever ban or their permanent ban lifted by Major League Baseball, and so they are eligible to be nominated and hence elected to the Hall of Fame. We've had good conversation about that. NFL schedule release is today. More drip on that. Dallas and Kansas City will play on Thanksgiving. Give you a little golf update as well as the Aggies as well, as they're both trying to get to the NCAA championships. David, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, David.
Hello. My brief and simple comment is I think the Pete Rose exclusion as of now is against the gambling thing that ultimately is only effective now, meaning if you go back, and how far back you have to go, the gambling prohibition was kind of restricted, limited, kind of questionable, in which case, going forward, they might exercise a restriction that technically is reactive, meaning they're going back and forth, in which case I think, given today's prevalence of gambling and widespread media gambling inclusion, the gambling prohibition should be eliminated.
I appreciate you. Thanks, David. I don't think they should be eliminated. If you can't gamble on your own team, and he did, and there's no argument. If you gamble on your own team, that threatens the integrity of said sport.
Yes, it does.
That can't be in debate. You can gamble. You can go play the ponies. Hell, I don't even have a problem with a baseball player gambling on basketball, although we can have conversations about how that's an issue. But you can't gamble on your own team. You can't gamble on baseball. You just can't. You can't. All right. The NCAA golf regionals are going on. Lobos and Aggies both trying to get through to next week's national championships. Lobos are in good shape. Aggies have played themselves out of good shape. New Mexico is playing. They're through. Most of those guys are through 12 holes. Mesa Fowler is playing really well. He's 4 under today. And Carson Heron is 2 under today. Lobos as a team are in third place. They are 10 under par. They're not going to catch second place Ole Miss, who's 18 under. They're 2 strokes better than Georgia, who's in fourth place. And they're 7 strokes better than Augusta, who's in fifth place. The key number is 5th. Top 5 make it. The team in 6 is Louisville. The Lobos are 8 strokes up on Louisville with about 6 holes to play for everybody. Oliver Cage just birdied number 4. They're playing they play the backside first, so now they're playing the front. So Lobos are in good shape as we sit here now. Aggies were in third place. They're in Auburn, and they're struggling. Everybody is above par today. Every one of their golfers. Mateo Ryan's 1 over. Ethan Close is 2 over. Aiden Thomas is 3 over. Javier Delgadillo is 3 over. So the Aggies have slipped now, JJ, all the way to 6th place, and they're out as we sit here now. They're just on their 11th and 12th hole. They are at 9 over. They are now 4 strokes behind Purdue for that final spot. Aggies trying to get back to the national championship tournament for the first time since 1995. So they're having a really, really rough day. Can turn. Auburn's running away with it there. There's only 2 schools under par. It's Auburn and Texas A&M. UCLA's moved all the way up to number 3. Georgia Tech and Purdue in front of New Mexico State. SMU's 3 strokes behind them. So we'll watch that for you all day, and you'll have an answer by tomorrow. Who's going where? Hoops tonight. You get some playoff action this evening in the National Basketball Association. Knicks will be in Boston, 5 o'clock. New York trying to finish off that series. And the Warriors are in Minnesota. Warriors need to win to stay alive. And or those can both end tonight. All right. You'll watch. Well, since you told me I have to be, I will watch the entirety, not of the NFL schedule release show.
I'll have my calendar out.
Just marking it up.
Mark it all down.
All right. I will watch. There are things that matter to me in the bowl world because the bowl schedule hasn't come out. There's it's penciled in some respects, but because I believe 9 or 10 bowls play in NFL stadiums, some of it is contingent upon the availability of those stadiums. You figure, there's two bowls that play in the Superdome. There's one that plays where the Buccaneers play. The Cotton Bowl plays where the Cowboys play. LA Bowl plays where the Rams and Chargers play. You got a bunch of bowls, so it matters. So we're watching NFL stadiums, and it's gonna dictate a little bit on bowl releases, which will probably come out here in the next few weeks as well. So yeah, I'll watch from that perspective as well. Who you got tonight? Knicks and Celtics. Knicks finish it tonight. I think the Celtics find a way to win tonight, even without Jason Tatum.
I got closeouts.
Both.
Closing them out.
It's going to be tough for the Warriors without Steph Curry to win up in Minneapolis tonight. Yeah, I think that's right. We haven't really had this conversation on Jason Tatum either. I mean, since we spoke last, what we assumed was confirmed. He had the surgery yesterday, so it is an Achilles. That's a year, dude. I mean, he's out next year. It's going to be interesting to see what the Celtics are next year. Right? What do they do?
Definitely a year of transition for the Celtics.
Yeah. All right. Thank you to Todd Brown, Rebel baseball coach. He was with us today. Jim Rome Show will follow the herd with Colin Cowherd. Colin's next. Rome is after that. 2 Men On follows that at 4 o'clock. And then you get Isotopes baseball. Brandon Vogt throwing out the first pitch. Brandon Vogt, of course, of BV today over on News Radio KKOB. He'll be throwing out the first pitch at Isotopes Park tonight, so go out and heckle him a little bit if you'd like. Adrian, great work on the visuals. The show looks so good. Hopefully you're enjoying that and you get to watch that. He is JJ Buck. I am Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Please be good to each other. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.